All right, welcome back everyone to the shelter-in-place, stay-at-home order, coronavirus crisis plays, talking stocks from my home office. So anyway, I am Tim Bohen, lead trainer with StocksToTrade. Today I'm going to talk about something I really want you to keep an eye on. I think it's probably one of the best strategies out there if you can be patient. Again, I'm lead trainer with StocksToTrade Tim Bohen. I'm going to talk to you about an incredible strategy that I think is very high risk to reward. But that being said, make sure to ring that bell, hit the subscribe button, share these videos with your friends so that they can get on this great information. And also, when you ring that bell, you get notified right away when we go live. I actually go live typically a couple times a week. And, these strategies that we're going to talk about today, we actually do them real time on YouTube Live. So ring that bell to be notified right away. Make sure you're subscribed and, tell all of your friends. And then also, if you really want to take that next level in your trading, definitely click the link below and check out StocksToTrade Pro. Okay, that is a mentorship program where I go live twice a day, every single day. And I tell you, especially if you're watching this video during the stay-at-home order, I think this is a great time to learn right now, to really improve yourself. All right, the strategy I'm going to talk about today is shorting. Now, if you're not familiar with short selling, I'm going to go over it really quick. But the idea behind short selling is you can sell a stock before you buy it, okay? And you can then make money when the price of the stock goes down. Now, I know to many of you that may be very confusing. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. We talk about shorting a lot. There's a lot of great resources out there. Biggest thing I want you to know is you need to understand the mechanics of shorting, okay? You need to know how to enter and exit positions, and you need to know what your risk is, okay? This is sometimes I'm almost scared to go on, outlets like YouTube, Facebook, and stuff and talk about shorting because it's dangerous. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to talk about 3 sectors I think you need to keep an eye on for short opportunities, and I'm also going to, talk about tips and techniques. But please, one of the biggest things I want you to do is, experiment with this with small size or even with paper trading, because remember, everything is in reverse. You're selling before you buy, then you're buying to close a position. You want the stock to go down to make money. If the stock goes up, you lose money. You have, in theory, you have unlimited potential losses to the upside. So, as I talk about these strategies, please make sure you understand them. All right. The disclaimer is done. So that being said, what are the 3 sectors I want you to keep an eye on for shorting right now and into the spring and into the summer? Right off the bat, travel related stuff. I've got Carnival Cruise Lines on my screen. I think this stock, actually, oddly enough, the day I'm recording, this stock is up 12%. Come on, and listen, if you work for a cruise line, if you like going on cruise lines, if your uncle works for a cruise line, I'm not bashing the business. I'm not bashing them, but the macro point is who's going on a cruise, next month? Who's going on a cruise 2 months from now? They have billion-dollar boats that are sitting idle, okay? Though, and you got maintenance, you got, dock fees. You got all these fees that are going out and there's no money coming in. So what I want you to look for when it comes to techniques is you want to look for, a day like today when this stock's up, 15%, it's spiking into that resistance, into that 15, 16 area. You're going to look for that technical area to short into. And then when it spikes that level, you want to short into those moves because you're trying to capture that upside. Then your risk management, it would be on a breakout. So let's say you shorted into that $16 move if it comes. I'm not sure it'll get there, but we're talking hypotheticals. Let's say it does short into that $16 area. You would then risk that breakout area back on at the end of March for your risk. Because remember, as I mentioned, these stocks spike. It's all blue sky, and they can run. As much as I think the cruise line industry is in trouble, they can run when people get too biased and they short that front side. Then what you would look to do is cover, basic technical support and resistance here. You'd be looking to cover into, like, say, that $11 washout, as they say. So, I mean, in this, let's talk about this hypothetical trade again. And all of these patterns are going to be similar. You're looking to short into that 16 move. You're looking to cover into an $11 washout. That gives you $5+ of upside. If you're covering into that high 17 levels for your risk management, you're risking $1.50 a share. That's 3-to-1 risk to reward. I mean, that's what we're always looking at when we're looking for trade plans, okay? You're always looking, if you can't realistically justify a 3-to-1 risk to reward, if you're trading, when you're breaking down your plan, just like I talk about with all the worksheets, okay? If you can't justify a 3-to-1 plus risk to reward, you can't be taking that trade, especially on the short side. I mean, if you're shorting 1-to-1 risk to reward, your losses are going to exceed your gains. And even if you have a high win rate, I mean, I see a lot of these short sellers out there with high win rates, 70, 80% win rates, but their losses are big because their risk to reward is skewed, and then at best they're break even, So you're break even dollar wise, profit wise, with a 70, 80% risk to or 70, 80% win rate. So that's where it tells you lots of times these things can really get skewed. So airlines, cruise lines, restaurants, rental car companies, that all goes in that travel related umbrella. I mean, I wish it, I'm not trying to be the bringer of bad news, but no matter what happens in the short to medium term, these travel companies are gonna pay the price, for lack of a better term. Next sector I want you to keep an eye on, real estate, especially like rental real estate. Especially a lot of these mortgage companies that were maybe lending to a lot of people with these Airbnbs. I was just reading an article today in the Wall Street Journal. I mean, there's people with, 2, 3, 4, 10, 15 Airbnbs. They got mortgages on all of them, and they were using that cash flow from the Airbnb to make the payments to pay for maintenance, which is great. I mean, I actually think it's a great business model when you don't have a global pandemic, with a virus related pandemic, which is scaring people away from, germs and do I want to stay in your Airbnb when I don't know if it's clean or not? I don't know who was there before. Never ignoring the fact that we can't travel anyway. So watch that real estate industry, especially the mortgage industry, especially that short-term rental. I think that they're just going to get pounded. I mean, it'll take a little while, but it's going to shake them out. Last sector I want you to keep an eye on is what I call old line retailers, okay? The first one that comes to mind is JCPenney, okay? I mean, you can tell, this is a penny stock. It's up 11% today. If you shorten, again, looking at an example, let's say this gets back to that 37 resistance level. You short into that 37 level, this thing's probably going bankrupt. I mean, you could short into the 37. They declare bankruptcy. It's probably going to trade at a couple cents. So, but keep in mind the delineation. Amazon, no. Okay, Amazon is the exact 100% opposite of what I'm talking about. People are still going to buy things. People still need clothing, coffee mugs, selfie sticks, Sharpies, okay? People still need to buy things, but when you look at something like JCPenney, a clothing company that is predominantly brick and mortar, I think you've got some great potential swing opportunities in a lot of these. So, travel, real estate, old line retailers. Remember the strategy though. Make sure you have a detailed trade plan. Make sure you can realistically, don't lie to yourself. Make sure you can realistically come up with a 3-to-1 plus risk to reward. And if you don't understand how to calculate risk to reward, if you don't know how to break down these charts, if you don't know how to find support and resistance levels, if you don't know how to interpret all these things, that's fine. Click the link below for Stocks to Trade Pro every single day, live and interactive. I take your questions. I'm there for you twice a day, every day. You never have to go much more than a couple hours to get your question answered. I'm in chat every single morning by 7 a.m. answering questions. Take advantage of this stay-at-home order, okay? Don't sleep in, get up, watch video games, order Uber Eats, watch Netflix, okay? Get up early, exercise, do your stock research, watch videos like this, listen to podcasts like the Steady Trade podcast, check out Stocks to Trade Pro, and come out of this a better version of yourself.